Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the week 3 update for the garden. Today, I don't have my regular camera person helping me out, so we won't be able to pan into the buckets, but that's okay because unfortunately, for this week 3 update, it doesn't look good. And I'll get to why things aren't looking good. But the spinach, which is in these two buckets here, is starting to wither and die and pretty much non existent inside of the bucket, which is a little upsetting. But the reason we think that things are starting to wither away and die is because it's really hot. As a matter of fact, today is August 19th, 2024. There is an excessive heat warning for my area in Arizona. So it's really, really hot. So I think the soil in here in the buckets, even though the buckets aren't directly in the sun, it's still that hot that the soil gets too hot and starts cooking and hurting the roots, and the roots start to die off, and so do the plants. The tomato, though, I think is liking the heat. It looks nice and strong. It was really small. It's kind of about this big now, so it's looking good. The carrots and the onions are mostly all underground, so it's kind of hard to tell how things are going, right? But from the top, it looks like things are okay. I watered this morning to avoid watering when it's really hot, so that's good. The cilantro is okay. It's kind of suffering the same like the spinach. It's just too hot. The lettuce kind of also is at a standstill. Hasn't grown. Hasn't really died off. It's just kind of there. But like I said, it's probably still really hot. But that's okay because right, this whole project is like it's my first project. It's my first garden. In fact, when I first started this whole series, I was nervous that nothing was even going to come out of the surface. So at the very least, things did come out of the surface, right? So that's a good positive point in my favor. And then next, things like I said, things are doing so good. So I'm probably gonna move on to Plan B for this project, which was starting the seeds inside the apartment where it's a lot more temperature controlled. I have the AC set to 76, which is a nice fresh temperature, and I'm probably gonna make some other videos on some projects for Plan B for this garden because I will be using my 3D printer to support the garden project. And we'll go over that video, which will be a really cool video. So please stay tuned for that. But yeah, I plan to 3D print some things and grow the saplings inside the house. That way, in about a month, on around September 15th, I can transplant the things from inside outside. Because if you remember correctly, the first frost date for my area here in Arizona is somewhere around December 15th, on average, is the first frost date. It's not very accurate. Arizona is very weird in that it's really hot or really cold. It can really fluctuate, right? But that's been the average so far, December 15th, which means come September 15th, we have September, October, and November, 30 days, really 4 months, 120 days before December 15th, meaning that more than likely my theory is correct that we planted everything way too early when it was just way too hot. Maybe if I had planted cantaloupes or watermelons, those might have been really, really good by now, but we didn't do that. But that's okay. This whole project is a learning experience, right? And something that I learned is not to give up. And I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep growing things until something comes out, until I can eat something from my garden. So don't worry, there are lots of videos to come, and we will keep pushing and growing the garden until, like I said, there is something that we can harvest and eat. But yes, that's Plan B. Starting seedlings inside and then bringing them outside to transplant. I still have to play around with the timing because as I'm talking right now, I'm realizing that we have September, October, November, and December. That's about 120 days. So maybe September 15th might still be a little too hot. We might be leaning more towards like September 20th or 25th, maybe October 1st, because it can still get kind of hot in September, high 90s, 98, 99, things like that. In October, it starts to level off very nicely, high 80s, very low 90s. So I think that temperature might play a lot better with the garden. So we still have plenty of time. We have a plan B. We're going to start the saplings inside, which, by the way, is a good idea to either save time or save money, just depending, right? If I had started my garden really late in the winter and I really wanted to grow something, let's say it was November, I could have gone to Home Depot and bought some saplings and then just transplanted them. And the saplings would be like a month or maybe a month and a half started. So I could just plant them, nurture them, make sure they grow to their full stage, and then just harvest. So I would have saved time and money in that case. So, but yeah, that's plan B. There are a lot of videos to come. Like I said, I'll be using my 3D printer to support the garden project. So there's some cool videos coming. But yeah, I think that'll be the update for the week 3. We're still fighting, we're still pushing, and we're not giving up. So yeah, we will enjoy some good harvest soon. But thank you for watching the update. It's really hot out here, so I'm going to go back inside. But thank you again for following me on Instagram. Don't forget to follow me over there as well. Subscribe to the channel. But yeah, this was the week 3 update. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.